everyone, welcome PocketWatch here, and it's about time for yet another episode of IO. Let's continue. Last time we had a lot of info, basically from Hinata and his perspective, but this time it seems like we're going into Yumi and Ishtar perspective. So let's see what they are going to talk in their personalized little adventures. I guess that's my assumption. Is like, we are going to experience the same thing that was last time, but from like Yumi perspective now. So last time we had Hinata dreaming and he in cyberspace, and now we're going to have Yumi and Ishtar basically perspectives, and they will do some stuff by themselves as well. But let's see. Maybe I'm wrong. But that would make sense. That would give us like the perspective from the other pair. Younger sister, elder sister, elder sister, younger sister. Younger sister, elder, younger. The one born first is the elder, after younger. But that's only common sense. However, in the case of twins, many cultures throughout time have considered the one born first as the younger and after elder. Oftentimes, common sense is easily reversed. I am the younger sister. Onesama the elder. Red Eye is Ishtar. Yeah, okay. Perhaps the relation could have been easily reversed. Yumi is the younger sister. One-chan is the elder. So... yeah, they can relate, basically, yeah. Perhaps that relation could have been easily reversed. Oftentimes, reality is easily reversed. I'm here, Onesama is lost, Yumi is alive, One-chan is dead. Perhaps that relation could have been easily reversed. Those two realities are forever on opposite sides of the same coin, overlapping. It would be strange for either one to be set as the truth. Perhaps. As I remain holed up in my hiding place, I connect my biocomputer to the net and gather information. Okay, so this is Yumi in the disguise of Ishtar, basically. Because in the Wikipedia, I remember they said, like, it's not like per se Ishtar, right? It's like Yumi, but impersonalizing Ishtar, basically. And Yana. But also this red corresponds to the normal Ishtar as well. Like, this is both Ishtar A and Ishtar B, or like Alpha and Beta. I think that's how they call them. Anyway. That's like understandable. What this is here. I single out the data I needed from the cyberspace vast sea of information, and I want each target one after another. Targeted information. Immutable information that is the truth to me. Criminal code destruction terror. May 25th. Mysterious armed conflict breaks into Tokyo. Chobei Exarch, Tokyo branch office, several dead, injured, missing people, possible links to terrorism are... yep. Dead, injured, missing. List for Tokyo branch office conflict. Cyberterrorism group code senses criminal declaration through the worldwide transmissions. Evidence of vigilante hacker team participation, Exarch Tokyo branch office conflict, hacker territory war. 26 mysterious explosions break out in Tokyo metropolis area. The cause linked to malfunction of the house management systems, links to terrorism. List of dead, injured and missing persons for Tokyo metropolitan area explosions. I quickly skim through the stream of articles and scan over the data downloaded list and tightly bite my lip. No matter how many times I reread the articles, no matter which sites I check, the truth remains unchanged. Every downloaded list of the deceased contains everyone's names loud and clear. Criminal has been destroyed. Yep. Murdered by code. My friends weren't the only ones who lost their lives. Their families did too. Onecha, Magdalene, Equus, L, their parents. I'm still like curious what happened that she actually joined code. Like, from my perspective, like, all she would seek normally would be the revenge. I get it that Ishtar met with Eresh in cyberspace, and basically, I guess Ishtar is kind of like borrowing Yumi body, similar to like what he is doing in similar matter. She's not taking control and stuff. Like, she lives in cyberspace. Anyway, let's just see, like, why she actually joined them? Eka's father and I are the only ones left. Everyone else is dead. Everyone. My emotions, well, happened by my eyes. All of my inner thoughts are inadvertently vocalized. Tears run down my cheeks and fall to the floor. This isn't the first time these cheeks have felt tears like this. The last time was back when Dad passed away. But back then, Mom was there for moral support. And though clearly upset, Ona-chan was there too. But now, there's nobody left. Oh no, this isn't the time for this. Yumi needs to become leader. No, to become Onesama. No, no crying. I must be strong. I need to be stronger. Because I want to be of use to Onesama. But how? I thought my heart had been healed, but now it's bursting the seams again. It's breaking down like water, rushing through one tiny hole in a dike. Second. Okay. But even so, I get back on my feet and wipe away the tears. Now my nose is all sniffly. I'm so lame. I don't have the resolution that Onesama had. I really am worthless after all. Here I am, disconnecting half of my consciousness from the net just to look for tissues. How lame. Yeah, having interpersonal. Yeah, behaving like Ishtar. Yeah. Okay. Who was that? It was them, right? Safe. Operation Blow Nose a success. Don't know who you are or where you came from, but you're a lifesaver. Don't know who you are or where you came from. Huh? Hey, wait a second. I'm the only one who's supposed to be here. No one else knows of this place but Yayo-sensei. And that wasn't Sensei's voice. Who was that? So, Yumi got in touch basically with the lamp that is used by Eresh. Basically. And Hinata got into contact with the one that is used by Mutsuki. I put myself on the full alert. Just then? Yep. I'm finally a tiny girl, less than 20 centimeters tall, or should I say long. She flutters around through the air with a pair of butterfly-like wings sprouting out of her back. Her entire body appears to glow, and a small speck of light seems to follow her flight path. You should know her. Like, you played Babylon. Like, you know about this fairy. How you don't know? I'm confused. How does... She doesn't know this? You played Babylon before. You know her. Fairy. There are rumors on the net. Rumors about mysterious fairy that appears in Babylon. You never met her, actually? I thought like you met her. Maybe I was wrong. Could she be the same fairy? But if so, then... You serious? You can't be serious, yeah.
忘れたんじゃないよ。忘れたんじゃないよ。ちょっとキオスク掃除中になっただけ。
I think that's the wrong word, Lem.
それを言うなら記憶喪失、それにどっちみち忘れたことに変わりないじゃないの。へへへ。どうしてだったっけかな。なんか重要な話があったような気が。
Okay. Why everyone's having amnesia? Well, honestly, this sort of conversation is always welcome, especially at times like this. These are like the conversations of the past that Ellen and R had. He was always the dumb one, and Ona-chan was always the straight man. The pleasant memories of the bygone days came crushing back, soothing my arching scars ever so slightly. Every time I look at Len-chan, I can't help but smile. Also, after like last recording, at the end, maybe I don't know if that's actually on recording or not, but I was told that this road is apparently similar length to Road A, but it depends on what happened. I'm very curious what that means. Like, I'm so curious what that means. I assume that it's going to depend on my choices and stuff, but still. That face looks good on you? Okay. I point to my own face. Len-chan notes a smile across her entire face. Truly a mysterious fairy. So that this is turning into such a calming experience, as if the near breakdown of mine was all fake. Let's wipe away the rest of the tears. Wait, just noticed something. Wipe the right eye. Len-chan writes there. Wipe the left eye. She disappears. Yeah, she's in the cyberspace. Makes sense. What is this? Close one eye, open the other. Open the other, close the one. Yeah, pretty much. That's it. I see a different image with my left and right eyes. Len-chan can only be seen with my left eye, my cyber eye. That clarifies the fact that she's a shadow that exists only in the net and not in real life. Which only makes sense. Len-chan is a resident of the Babylon after all. Also, this is interesting. Like, she can actually see both perspectives at the same time. In a sense, she became like he, right? Because we learned, like, in Road C, I think, or maybe D, that he can, like, pretty much also, like, hack and at the same time have his consciousness, like, in real life and, like, just do stuff while he's hacking. So she's similar now. Can see both. But to me, being I in this case, her presence is a warm welcome precisely because she is a shadow and not a real life human. What was Una? Oh, okay. So... Null, we know. And we have the shadow nulls. And that, but why Una? So Una is like normal shadow and Null is just shadow without owner, I guess. Can't help but ask the question. When she hears that, Lem gives me a difficult look for some reason. Was that question better left unasked? Really didn't seem like it would be. Okay, that's contradiction. You are Una but also a Null. I mean, I guess that makes sense because at least the LM, I don't know how with the LM that Eresh is using, but the one that Muski is using, it was a shadow that was left behind by someone else. So she's a shadow of the unknown user, and at the same time, she's an Una, like the actually shadow of like Mutsuki, for example, in the Mutsuki lamp. So I guess this one is the same. An Una, but also a null. She's there, yet not there.
それってレムは難しいことはよくわかんないんだけどね。
Wait, so this is actually the Mutsuki one? I thought this is the Eresh one.
でもさ、ほらほら、なんかあったでしょ？笑いながら消えちゃう猫が。
You're probably talking about the Cheshire cat from Alice in Wonderland, yeah. Oh, smiling and can make itself disappear. Reappear after talking to Alice for a bit, she would ask him to stop appearing and vanishing so suddenly. When she did, he disappeared slowly, starting with his tail, leaving behind only his smile. At the end, causing Alice to remark, I've often seen a cat without a green, but never green without a cat. Okay. Now that she mentioned it, there was this book on quantum theory from back at the beginning of high school. It was hard to read, so hard to understand, not sure if this is right, but my first impression of that mysterious Schrodinger's cat from quantum theory was, oh, that's kinda like the Cheshire cat. Okay. The word of quantum theory, proposed by Niels Bohr, is truly a profound mystery. The micro-world invisible to our eyes, where common sense becomes insufficient and strange phenomena occur. It's a very difficult theory to understand, so it cannot be accurately described in simple words. But if one were to attempt a summary, one could say, the world is uncertain and undefined until observed. The phenomena are first settled via said act of observation. Is this Umineko all over again? Why I feel like I'm reading Umineko again? That line of thought, to the extreme, the composition of the world we perceive is decided by what we currently observe with our own eyes. Taking that even further, we're all to... If we're all to close our eyes, shut our ears, and completely quarantine all our 5 senses, there will be no guarantee at all that the world would be the same as it is now. Just as the moon is not there, if not a single person sees it. That is, according to the quantum theory. Not according to Mutsuki. The moon that you cannot see, that no one sees. Lemchan floats in space and smiles at me as I ponder and doubt. Cheshire cat, Schrodinger's cat. What am I supposed to be catching onto there? I don't know. Cats? What is this semi-transparent phantasmal fairy trying to tell me? That cat is a lie? I don't know. She's there, yet not there. Huh? Wait a second. In the Schrödinger cat thought experimentation from the quantum theory, isn't that inside of the box described the quantum's supposed to be state of both cat is alive and the cat is dead? Yeah, until you open the box and see what's inside. This is literally Umineko again. For the cat's vital status observed, the cat is neither alive nor dead, nor half alive, half dead, not even alive for a certain percentage of experiments, and dead yet the other. Both states are superposed, aren't they? The cat is alive, and yet the cat is dead. This is just like that. This fairy is just like that, isn't she? An Una, but also a null. In other words, Schrödinger lamb, sure.
コメントすごいねパチパチパチ
Sure. Lemchan dances around me there in genuine bliss, glittering dust traces her flight path like confetti. The fairy shadow is in the superposed state of both an Una, that is, the human behind her is alive, and null that is dead. But that would mean the quantum theory, which should be applicable to the micro world, is eroding into the observable macro world. But how?
プログラムデータの大きさは
Can she tell what I'm thinking? Let me ask a question that seems to cut through my doubts.
プログラムの大きさってどのくらいかな
Can Okay, that's a difficult question. You can quantify a program's volume by the size of the source code in bits or bytes, but it's a completely different concept from measuring our own sizes with meters or grams. You can visualize a program physically by writing it onto the HDD or terabyte disk or some other storage medium, but that storage medium would be nothing more than the container, not the actual program itself.
ね、見えないっしょ、わからないっしょ。
Okay. Sure. So, this lamb is actually the Mutski lamb. That's not the Eresh one, right? I'm still like getting a little bit like confused which lamb is which one. But this one feels like the Mutski one.
それってさ、目に見えないちっちゃな世界の物事だと言えるんじゃないのかな。
Okay. Programs, shadows, beings are concepts that belong to the quantum microworld. I mean, quantum theory can be applied to them. That's a terribly preposterous theory, but there's something in her eyes, some sort of sparkle that makes you want to believe her. A semi-transparent fairy who is here, yet not here. Whom the left eye sees, but whom the right eye does not. The mysterious experience might have put me into some sort of mood. That sort of mood. No, that's not all. If you assumed Lemchan words couldn't be trusted, then how do you explain her mysterious inhuman presence? 1, yet also 0, una yet also null, a human, yet also a program. That's... human also a program, that sounds like road C and D, kinda. She's a fairy in the true sense of the word. In that case,
あなたは
I let my feelings run straight out of my mouth. I want to know her true form. I want to meet her in real life.
シャラップ。はい、そこまで。どう
Okay, never mind. This is Erish. Yeah, like Mutsuki one is like more timid, I think. Yeah. What am I, bull? From the world oldest story from Babylonia, Epic of Gilgamesh. Really? Ishtar and the bull. Okay. The beautiful goddess Ishtar courted King Gilgamesh, but he unhesitantly rejected her, saying everyone who... Oh, I heard about this! Everyone who has been with you has met a miserable end. I heard the story, I think. Hard and angered by this, Ishtar brought 7 years of famine into the earth and directed the bull of heaven to cause storms and earthquakes to try to kill Gilgamesh. Bulls were always considered the sacred beast of Ishtar, the goddess of Venus, just like the moon. Venus waxes and wanes, and the shape of the crescent moon brings to mind the shape of the bull horns. Images of Ishtar with bull horns on her head have frequently been discovered in the historical ruins. Yeah, okay.
どうして私はあなたと会って話がレムが誰か分かっちゃったら世界は確定しちゃうんだよ。今の状況
Interesting.
確定して本当にいいの？
Interesting. So as long as they don't know who you are really, they will be able to change the events in the past. Okay. I have a lot of questions about like time travel and how it works exactly in this universe. But that maybe will be explained later. Like for example, if they can travel only as the programs, right? If they travel into the past, then it's like they're like present is changing as well, while they're like nulls or program selves changing the past, or they creating the branching timeline. Basically, you know, like do you create like change the past so you yourself will experience different future, or you just create a branch timeline basically, and you yourself in this world will not going to change anything, basically. You are still doomed. Probably we are branching timelines, I would assume. With having one fixed point at the end, apparently, that Mutsuki is dying because he, like, took her out of the pod and stuff. Like, this is, like, the fixed point. And this event is, like, resetting everything or something. Like, they turn back from that time. And they have to avoid this event to move forward or something. Looks like there's a reason behind Lam's-chan reading ways. Common sense dictated that the micro-only phenomenon of quantum behavior can have any effect on our real world. However, it can in the net world, according to the hypothesis that is. And now I feel like I can believe in that hypothesis too. If the net legendary fairy Lamb has chosen to appear before me and to recite the riddle, then she must have serious grave reason. And until I solve her riddle my own, the riddle must remain unsolved. Solve it and reality will be set, meaning the world will be set into its current state. So in other words, she's saying that the world shouldn't be set to its current state. The world wrapped in chaos, the world where precious people were lost. For now, it's best to leave her as the Schrodinger's lamb. Okay. This is what I think. If we take everything she said and turn it around, then the world has a possibility of changing depending on our actions. No idea what that's possible, but it is. What is our mission? If this fairy truly is in the superposed state of Lamb the Yona and Lamb the Null, then which state should be set in the future? Good question! Huh. Never thought about that. Alright. I won't hesitate. I decide deep inside that Lamb is an Una. Okay, so you decided that there's someone behind her, basically. Like, someone's actually using her avatar. Like, this is not the shadow. And there are things that must be done to ensure the world accepts that decision as the set reality. To Hibi and Oni-chan. Yeah, this is Mutsuki. Yeah, okay. So, like, Hinata and He. Yeah, okay. What is she talking about? Okay, and... Okay, so you may have no fucking idea who is she talking about. I mean... Yeah, because... yeah, Oni-chan. Okay. It's the first time that I'm talking like that. Instead of answering my questions, Lamb-chan just give me a wink. Also, what a picture. What picture? And as soon as she does, I turn around to see my sleeping computer suddenly activate. Looks like it's loading something. Before long, the monitor begins to display something. Huh? Isn't this? Oh. It's a photo Yumi, shot of the total lunar eclipse way back then. Okay. A crimson full moon hidden in the shade of the earth. A timestamp emblazes one corner of the image. 2034, okay, 0426. Pretty sure this is the same image Hinata-kun was shown by me. But when the terrorist attacked home and One-sama's room, the photo data was supposed to have been lost. No response. So she wants me to show this to Hinata, okay. That's strange. When I look up and... the fairy already gone. Appearing on the whim and disappearing on a whim with no regards to others. Is she elusive or just plain selfish? Good grief. I signed and reconnect my biocomputer to the net. There's still much left for me to do. Oh, we're back to his perspective, actually, okay. I thought we are going to have only Yumi and Ishtar. Okay, never mind then. I head for the place under the cover of the night. The place where death and death intersects. The death crossroad. Okay, I see what you're doing here. Okay. The place where real death and virtual death overlaps and coexist. From this point onwards, I will head there, come across the two gods of death and go to meet them. Okay. The former members of Anoki are named after the gods of Underworld and thus the two targets. Okay. In order to accomplish the things I have to do, I must coil around death. The full moon in the sky shines on my face, its light as pale as a corpse. I had expected this, but the shop before my eyes is closed. The attic shutters are locked. Right now it's protected by the tight security, which if someone just carelessly tried to open it, would probably send a security guard running over here in the flash. Why would he try to kill Nergal? Like, Nergal saved him. He made operation and stuff. I'm confused. It's only natural. It's only 3 AM, the dead of the night. I check the time of the moon's age, the chronograph wrapped around my right wrist, and concentrate my senses. I swift to raise my arm overhead. I shall open the rock door of the Amano Iwata to bring light to the world. I undo the security, and at the same time I usurp the opening-closing system. I point at the air occasionally. The light comes on. I see the shop's signal board in a brightly lit field of vision. On it is written Death's Crossroad. I enter the shop and place a large suitcase I was carrying at the top of the counter along with a large traveling bag. Oh, okay, you're not here to kill him. Okay, yeah, I was like confused, like why would he do that? Okay. Just then a grim giant of the man appeared from the inside, as if respond to the sound. He held something of a pretentious wooden sword in his hands. He's the man who repaired this body back then. Yeah, okay. Don't recognize me? Yeah, hi. In an instant, he recognized my form. His eyes widened. I stared at the stupefied shop owner standing there. It's none other than Nergal. Is he surprised by my arrival, or is he staring at me on the other side of this body? Yeah, and ultimately you got two. I hand over a card with electromagnetic money recorded on it as I say this. Okay. I tap the suitcase and bag. Wow, he specifically knows what he wants to use because he used this in the future. So he knows how to operate them. Okay. We like his shotguns. You most likely have then just stuff like this, yeah. If I wish it, I can learn anything. Nothing is impossible for me in this world. But there's no need to answer him. Sorry, my body is possessed by the god of cyberspace, so yeah. Startled from the glint in my eyes, Nergal trembles violently, but excitedly begins his work. Nergal stares at my right arm, which is resting on the top of his counter. Seems like he noticed the chronograph sticking out from my sleeve. A Dominus X logo is engraved on the watch dial. Yeah. He's been completely overpowered. And then he mutters this in a small voice. Kinda possessed. What hasn't happened to me? Yeah, what hasn't happened to you? We just time skipped a month ahead, it seems. Okay. Stiff sound of typing sporadically resounds through the vast space. The only other sounds to be heard are the low reeling of the fan and the occasional clicking of the hard drive. I've come down and run some investigations. I've fully become an automaton, perhaps an AI, sprinting across cyberspace for the sole purpose of seeking out information. How many hours have passed since all this started? Perhaps starting to have these thoughts is the sign of fatigue. I rest my hands, disconnected my biocomputer, and lean back in my chair. Didn't realize. Ship to the moon. We are finally going to the moon, aren't we? Didn't realize it was that dark until after returning to reality. I mean, there's no windows, it's always dark here. Is the sun about to set or is it about to rise? Nowadays I can't even tell the difference. My head throbs. Perhaps a break from extended connection is in order. According to the desktop clock, it's just before 7 PM. The search started around noon on July 21st, so... Okay. Felt like it must have been at least 20. But in reality it was less than half of that. Has time gone amiss? Let's check the live camera that has been set up outside. Camera captures the slowly darkening pitched color sky. Shining in the west is evening star. My star. The clock was right. Oh, because the oh yeah, Venus, the evening star. Okay, sure. Shining in the western skies after the sundown. When dawn approaches, it can be seen in the eastern skies, hence the name, the morning star of the dawn. This is a bit off topic, but the kanji for the morning star of Venus can be read as the Akari. Oh, okay. Ishtar, Akari, yeah. When the first Ishtar, Akatsuki Akari, was in the Anunnaki, she held the name Akari of the Dawn because of her powerful abilities. In contrast, the current Ishtar, Shinzuka Mayumi, calls herself the Evening Star. That name shows her modesty, her determination to end everything herself, and her respect to the real Ishtar. Okay. Cool. Apparently the passage of time differs in real space and cyberspace. Yeah, pretty much. You can travel in time and space in cyberspace, apparently. I've never been connected to cyberspace for this long before, so I've never experienced it personally. Reminds me of the Rip Van Winkle. In the story, Rip Van Winkle returns from the mountains, and when he arrives home, time appears to have passed several times faster than in the outside world. I actually mentioned that before, like in one of the previous episodes. Like being connected, like she never experienced it before. Like you could like probably experience like this, like going back in time and stuff, right? Experience like years basically in the cyberspace. Then you log out and it's like 5 minutes just passed. Something like that. Like enormous scale basically. Like we don't know the scale, like the time perception. Okay. A short moment to rest in the mountains, a sad reality waiting back home. It's like waking up from the dream and getting slapped in the face with reality and a dash of cold water. Speaking of dreams, it's said that with only 90 minutes of sleep, people see a single dream, or perhaps one could say one story, during which we experience time flowing several times slower. Okay? So much so that the phenomenon is described in the Chinese masterpiece, the Handam Dream. What the fuck is that? During the Tang Dynasty, there was the man who went to sleep in the earthen tea house in the land of the Han. There he dreamed of the something of fortune of the entire lifetime, which lasted only a few minutes in real life. Yeah, okay. In this way, the Handam Dream, kata no yuma in Japanese, has become an idiomatic phrase, linking the thing of life to an empty dream. Sometimes confused with the butterfly dream. While similar, they're a bit different from the Handam Dream, also known as the vain dream of wealth and splendor, or just the vain dream for short. Butterfly Dream. When Xingzi woke up from the dream, when he spent 100 years as the butterfly, He suggested that perhaps this current reality might be a second in a dream that Butterfly is having. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. No. Furies from the Hinata Road are coming back, I think. Also describing a state where you can tell, where you can't tell the difference between dreams and reality. This is literally Hinata Road Fury mindfuck that I had. Jesus! We're really going to include this, huh? Whenever I go through an endless monotonous work like this... But timeline apparently exists. Like, there's actually official timeline for IO. Apparently. Whenever I go through endless monotonous work, like this research, you have to shut out all thoughts. So once you leave room for the idle thought, the brain just keeps going and going without any sort of logical coherence. These last few thoughts haven't even been related to my real objective all that much. I try to cheer myself up a bit before standing up and turning on the light for now. Then it's off to the kitchen space. A proper thought process requires proper preparation. Let's take out some original blend coffee and set up a coffee maker. Before long, the fragrant aroma tickles my nose. Aroma only gets stronger once I pour it into the cup. Drinking it black like this will restore Ishtar thinking ability back to 100%. I'm out of... Oh no, wait, I'm not out of coffee! I've never been so happy before. I was so thinking I'm out of coffee. Damn! I'm so happy I still have some. Almost like burgers in White Album 2. Who knows then knows. Go watch my White Album 2 episodes if you don't know. Burgers and coffee, the best things. I bring the cup to my lips. Acidic tingling bitterness runs down my throat to my stomach. A tingling sensation penetrates my every pore. I pour all the coffee into the pot and bring it to my seat, which you might as well call a cockpit. Let's savor the coffee and sort through all the data obtained so far. So far, no much of it is a new information. A current situation surrounding code. Code's actions have roused terrorists the world over, causing the rise of the global terrorism. This is pretty much reinformation, we already knew this from previous episodes. And in general. Every counter-terrorist organization of every nation has begun putting all efforts in retaliation, but their numbers have been easily overpowered by the rapidly progressing invasion and thus results have been poor. World's gradual decline into chaos. Pretty much, yeah. One person comes to mind immediately, a certain urban legend. First-hand sightings of encounters with the enigmatic hacker He have exploded on cyberspace. Yeah. Also, this is crazy, right? Like, first-hand sightings and encounters. So, it's like, before the Hinata accident, like, he existed in cyberspace, and then, like, he started appearing physically only after he got back a body, basically. This is crazy. Also, I'm still, like, little confused why they never told Yumi about Hinata's surgery. In general. Like, it happened in, like, span of, like, 2 weeks, if I remember correctly. Why they never, like... it was just to protect them? Just in case, like, less people know the better? I'm a little confused. I mentioned that before. The episode when actually Hinata got the surgery. And Yumi as well. Many of them are probably mistaken sightings or fabrications, but the number is still unbelievably high. There's also no shortage of phenomena that occur, that common sense fails to explain. We counter that one person back on Exarch Center as well. Everything points to the conclusion that he exists and is working towards achieving some sort of goal.
ヒーはどこかにいる。
To me, that's a no belief, that's a fact. He has appeared in real space. That too is hope. But if he has indeed been actualized in this world, then what's going on? What does it all mean? What is his goal? A legendary genius hacker is hacking reality? How? Speaking of genius hackers, there's also the matter of hackers group, anarchy progenitors of the Babylon. Also, how to hack reality? Go back in time and hack a body. I know Anarchy's secret origin story as well as Babylon's creations myth, and Onesima's involvement with it as well, or at least the big picture as derived from the information scoured from all over the net, verified rumors and speculation, in the stories Onesima herself would recall from time to time. I know it's not the whole truth, but it's at least extremely close to it. Let's confirm the details later with the progenitor of Anouki herself, Anu, that is Yao-sensei. A tragedy, the misfortune, and, well, as the chaos that fell upon Anouki and its homeland Babylon. It's not hard to imagine what Onesima and Anu must have felt at that time. Were their cheerful demeanors a means of coping with the past? Or were they the result of the strength used to overcome that past? The collapse of the community they built with their hearts and souls, I can understand their sadness, their grief. For I too have experienced it firsthand. Speaking of communities, serving Lem's Chan's fan club, Zero. Lem, the rarely seen fairy of Babylon, her charming nature and her low encounter rate have instantly elevated her to the status of the Babylon's mascot. Disregarding whenever or not the fairy I encountered earlier was a genuine Lem, there was no doubt that she became the key to the mission. Key? Anyone read right? The Lemchan faithful at the drill must also play some sort of the role. Hard to believe otherwise. That's the case of everything currently investigated so far.
Yes.
Okay. I put down the cup and turn to the monitor. Now, start the business. And start a new search on that. Okay, give me new info. Search for Drow. We know quite a lot about Drow, I think. Lunar Exclusion Module. Welcome here. Here is the Infinite and Eternal Paradise. Arc of Mystery invites you to the Fairy Realm. You are Lemchan 1010101010 fan. Great. What a coincidence, huh? This is the fan site run by the Drow. Their logo has an odd animation loop. Drow members connect here day in, day out to post on the forums, or to just lurk, read but not post. Posting aside, anyone can browse this forum, but there's a VIP only forum for important information exchange that's completely membership based, so unregistered users, non-members, can't even read the archives. Would have been better to scope out Lem's fortune telling, which is rumored to be run by Lemchan herself, but well, interesting. Lem have her own website? I mean, we know she have the fortune telling thing, like Hinata actually was like using this. When I went there to go check, I ended up waiting forever with no sign of Lem showing up, so I gave up. Oh, okay. So, so not the forum, it's actually... She just actually meant the place. Okay, inside the Babylon. Apparently, encounter with Lemchan is quite the rare event, even on that side. Okay. Of course, there's always the option of cracking into the server and still logging passwords, but that will make it a little too awkward to try and talk with the members. The Drew community is home to Andras, the one who previously stalked Magdalene, and in the end drove criminal to his destruction. It's psychologically hard to accept, yeah. This is for the sake of investigation, something that nobody else can be asked to do. I note to myself, you're going to steal his password? Besides, this is clearly where my fate mixes with Lem. Our dearly departed friends at Criminal can't rest until the riddle of Lem Unanul is solved. And so, I click the register here button and rush through the process. Oh, she's just like creating a new account, okay. That's really not that much of that missions agreement, just a few important items. To be in the row is to love Lemchan from the bottom of your heart. To be in the row is to have complete affirmation of Lemchan no matter what. To be in the row is to prioritize Lemchan above all else. Jesus, yeah, they are just cold. To be in the row is to humor Lemchan with laughter for all her jokes. To be in the row is to not impersonate Lemchan. Impersonators shall not be tolerated. To be in the row is to avoid all disputes about Lemchan at all costs. That's all. Yeah. They are cool. Why not? Sure. I promise to cherish her, but not like that, of course. Admission form asks for some personal information, but obviously only junks going in there. Oh, and I'm also behind several stepping stones to cover my row IP, not pulling any stops here. Registering under the name of Iana. Oh, okay. So this is the beginning of the Iana. Okay, that's how Iana is born, basically. Iana is the Sumerian name of the Ishtar of Babylonian myth. As the same as Ishtar, yet at the same time not. A fitting name for who I am now. So I noticed something, finishing registration and returning to the homepage. The draw animation. Letters periodically spin around and change to seemingly random order, but looks like it's actually reversing the spelling. Like a mirror. Okay. You mean this one, the world? Mel. Is that Fata Morgana? Jesus, what is happening today? Mel world. Love Mel. Zero word zero. Yeah, like that. So the row is word backwards, huh? Yeah, pretty much. It was in Western society where words first began to be defined as everywhere that our human intellect reaches. Therefore, the world grew bigger with each geographical discovery made by West. Before long, the continent of North America was discovered, and it came to become the New World. The first final card of Grand Arcana, the first final card in the Grand Arcana in Tarot, and also the stand. Normally, it shows the goddess of the earth surrounded by the leaves, with 4 beasts watching her over. It's interpreted as the completion and pre-established harmony. Also refers to planets in space, but not the universe or cosmos as a whole. Earth, Moon, Mars, and the 3rd planet of the Alpha Centauri are all different worlds. Okay. It's like eDoc and code. The infinite and eternal paradise, part of the slogan of the homepage, seems to be making more sense. If you consider the word to the symbol of reality and the infinite, that would make the opposite of the fiction, that fiction and the infinite, eternity. Oh, that's smart. I didn't thought about this. Okay, that's smart. That's nice. That's cool. This saying is probably entwined with the fact that Lem was said to be forever 14. Is that like some kind of like reference to like ever 17, forever, ever 7? I don't remember. There are like 3 games. Everett only, ever 17. Like the OG version, not the like newer one. To go even further, this saying may also even be connected to the message "Our love for Lemchan is eternal." In the end, have the members of the row found their paradise exactly as desired it to be? That's something only they know. Refocusing on the forum.
これはすごいわね。
The forum is exploding. Considering there must be several lurkers, it's impossible to tell just how many people are actually accessing this site by it. Things are so busy here that as soon as someone posts, it only takes a few seconds before a response comes in, and then the log starts filling up like that. The spamming a forum is almost as fast as the chat room. The status as the fan club for a virtual idol may say otherwise, but this is really nothing to look down upon. The 100 million and counting hit meter isn't just for show, huh?
ざっと拝見しましょうか。
Okay, this forum system uses multi-thread model, where each topic starts a new thread. The downside of the system is that it's really complex, but exchange several topics can be opened at the same time, and each topic can be looked up. Just as expected, the forum's flooded with threads dedicated to prizing Lemchan, yep, pretty much. Announcements of Lemchan related events, and people bragging about first-hand encounters with the Lemchan. Okay, yeah. I had to sort through all the information that's meaningless to me and find information that's important to me. It's nauseating just thinking about it.
これは時間かかりそうね。
Yeah. How do we go through this spam? How even, like, what the hell? And about an hour or so later, several facts have been made clear from checking the forum. The group has this officer position they called Sin, who is always appointed by Lemchan on the new moon. Oh, so they have like new Sin every time when there's new moon? Or something? Huh. Also, the pattern of Lemchan appearances is affected by the moon sage cycle. Yeah, we learned that before, that was weird. Her activity is mostly intense during the full moon, or at least that's what they say. Surprisingly, Andras is the one who's been appointed as the current Sin. Oh, really? Okay.
そういえば
I suddenly get curious and take a quick look at the live camera. Full moon shines in the heavens above. Okay, so Lem should be active. At least, like, mostly active.
あれ変だな。
Is it? Wasn't it the full moon on the day Lemchan came to visit? Or did it only feel like that? I don't know, to be honest. I haven't checked back there the moon sage, so I don't know. You saw just the red moon that you got a picture of. Or has it already been a whole cycle of days since then? I mean, it's a month passed, so yeah.
今は一体いつなんだろう。
This lifestyle devoid of days and nights has blurred the passage of time. According to the calendar, it's wait. Here's an interesting post. Yeah, fuck the date. Name Lem something something. Lem can't seem to remember what Lem does when Mystery Moon is not in the sky, huh? Hehehe. Okay.
これは本人なの？
The hero agreement says to not impersonate Lemchan. The draw member posting here don't seem like the type to violate that rule. It's not an issue of can or can't, it's something they wouldn't even think of doing. And the OP even has a rip code attached. There's quite a high possibility this is Lem this Lem is the real deal. If that's the case, then there might be some sort of hints to be found here. Okay. Lemchan post was in reply to the draw member. Lemchan, sometimes the things you say contradict other things you said. Sometimes to the point that you seem like a completely different person. Oh yeah. Because one is the shadow, like one is Una and one is a null, huh? But that enigmatic air is just another one of your charming points, you know? In response to that statement, Lemchan posted, Lemchan can't seem to remember what Lem does. What does that mean?
そういえば
Yeah, like Lem and the different Lem.
忘れたんじゃないよ。忘れたんじゃないよ。
Yeah.
ちょっと気安く掃除中に。
Lemchan herself reveals that she was extremely forgetful, didn't she?
さっぱりわからない。
What exactly does this mean? Is there some kind of hint to the code, the meaning behind the words of an una and yet an ul? Probably, yeah.
二人いる？ひょっとしてレムちゃんは複数存在？
Oh, she figured it out. Okay. Yeah, there are two actually. Now, of course, not Babylon doesn't allow multiples of the same account. Yeah, the thing is, the other one is not from Babylon. She's from Exarch. And besides, fairies' shadows are very difficult to make, or at least for a non-EDOC staff member. Or does this have something to do with the Ashur, the final scenario? Yeah, we still yet to discover exactly what the Ashur was for.
いや、それも違うわね。私が会ったレムちゃんはバビロンの外で私に接触してきた。
It really doesn't seem like she's part of the game, prepared by the managers. To think about this from a different perspective, there can be two of them, but there is Lemchan, but there is a Lemchan that Lemchan herself cannot grasp.
ID とか？
The dissociative identity disorder, one person, many personalities. I mean, we saw two of them, so I don't think so. No, that can be either. There's never been a shadow with those sort of symptoms ever before. Not in the Unas, nor in the Nus. Maybe the player operating Lemchan, if there's one anyway, had did themselves. Then maybe, but based on Lemchan's roundabout messages, it doesn't seem like that's the case either. When Mr. Moon's not in the sky, which probably means during the new moon. Conditional date where the personalities switch during the full moon? Sure, it's not completely impossible, but that just sounds like a werewolf.
そうだね。この情報だけじゃ私には無理。
Guess I'm just not cut to be a detective. Maybe the best way to figure it out would be to ask the fairy herself. She's not going to tell you anyway. I focus my attention to the threads posts once again. The Draw members who notice Lemchan posts have started to dance wildly about, posting things like the goddess is among us. And though all the chaos other poster calmly responds with, what do you mean by that? Will Lemchan respond? I scrolled down the log with the battered breath. She did. But once again, Lemchan's response is rather mysterious. Well, Lem is Lem after all. Yep, she said the same thing to Hinata before. Perhaps that's some sort of wordplay. I bring up online dictionary and look for Remu. Yep. Like, if you think about, like, Rem, like, it's kinda like it's connecting because Muskis is like constant REM sleep, basically. So she's also like sleeping, right? Anyway, an old unit of exposure dosage named after Wilhelm Röntgen and the discovery of the X-rays. Okay, Röntgen. 1 rem of radiation is equivalent to the amount required to produce the same psychological effect as the 1 Röntgen of X-ray radiation. An SI unit 1 rem is equal. Okay.
これは明らかに違う。
I move to the next result. Rapid eye movement. Yep, that's pretty much what's happening to Mutsuki constantly. Important factor is determining whenever or not the subject is experiencing REM sleep. REM sleep is the state where people have dreams, although some in the state is in a deep sleep, their brainwave activity is said to be like that of someone who is awake. Yeah, and that's why she would be like null and una una at the same time. Like, she's awake, so she's the one, and also she's asleep, so she's like not existing, right? Like, That was a thing in Hinata Road, like if you are asleep, do you exist? Something like that. So yeah, she's also either she's like alive or dead, right? Either she exists or not. So yeah, this is connecting to Mutsuki. One cycle of REM and NREM sleep is 90 minutes. In each of those 90 minutes minute periods, people dream one dream. Okay, so I wonder if like this is actually going to be related. Like, I was thinking if we can like translate this into like Moon's Age. Basically, like you have one, like Muski have one dream per a Moon's Age. Instead of like 90 minutes. Something like that. Una and null, 1 and 0, life and death, reality and dreams. Dreams are quite like the boundary of life and death. Wait, no one is spelling it wrong. No, the spelling is wrong. Lemchan posted with the name Lem in Latin, characters with the L. Lemchan cites Lem's fortune telling is also spelled with Latin L. REM sleep isn't the same REM as Lem. So let's refine that search. Lem with L only. Okay. Lem, lunar exclusion module, yeah. Another name for the Apollo lunar module. First Lem to reach space was launched in the Apollo 5 mission on January 22nd, 1968, yeah. Lem's in space on the moon, I swear to God. Lem vessel for traveling to the moon, and Lem was influenced by the Moon's Age. Lunar exclusion model. That probably means this is the right one. Wait a minute, looking this up feels like deja vu. Yeah, you helped that with exactly the same crossword to Hinata back then. But when was that? It was to help Hinata with his crossword, wasn't it?
でも睡眠のレムじゃないんだ。
そうなんだ。
Yeah.
文字数が合わなこれですね。ちゃんと合ってる。
Those were peaceful times. It hasn't been half a year since then, and yet it feels like it happened decades ago.
そういえばシンってバビロニアの月の神の名前。
Yeah, so she's going to figure it out that Muski is his sister. She's going to figure it out now. Also spelled Suen. Really? The Babylonian god of moon, god of time, and god of fate. Sumerian name Nana, occasionally Nanar in Assyrian. The ziggurat was originally Sin's shrine.
やっぱりね。
Satisfied, I move to close the window when my hand suddenly stops. Okay.
これって
Sin. A crime against morality or religion. To err. A transgression. Heresy. Yeah. I don't know. I don't quite know why, but a strange sensation deep inside me gradually turns to discomfort. Interesting. A strange sign. The god of the moon. Sin. Sin transgression. The fairy crowd with the name of the lunar exclusion module. And the officer position of her fan club. Something I don't know what or where, but something unbelievable seems to be happening. Something worse than anything I can imagine. Okay, what is happening? What did he figure it out? I mean, not yet figured out, but... I mean, I can connect the scene to, like, the current scene in, like, Dero, because they're, like, taking this, like, libido and the Strudo, right? Like, they getting money out of this and stuff. So that would be their sin. That's how I would connect this, but seems like it's not what Yumi's thinking. But as a side, if anything's clear, it's that everything is tied to the keyword moon. Lem by nature is an entity from Babylon, but fairy-type shadows can be legally registered by players, meaning it's highly probable that Lem's player is either from Babylon's former management Anouki, or the current management Idok, or at least someone who's with connections to either group. I reject the possibility there, but if her player came in contact with the management for the real-life person rather than an in-game reason, then the possibility is valid. According to my research, the core members of Anouki each took the name of the Babylonian god as their handle. And the Babylonian god of the moon is Sin. Therefore, if I find out who is the original Sin is, this is the first person who used the handle, and where the person is, we should be able to solve the problem. Yeah, you basically are on the same quest as Hinata right now. But,
終わったわね。
according to real investigation, Sun was a member who joined Anouki just before it collapsed. The genius programmer behind the construction of the iOS system. However, access to any information beyond that is heavily restricted, or perhaps fruitfully erased, so there'll be no luck finding anything further than that. But she heard before Mutsuki's surname, right? I think. I don't remember exactly, but I think it was mentioned in Road B. But it was like one time, so of course I could like avoid her memory right now, if that actually happened. I think like that was mentioned somewhere. I don't know if that was for Ishtar or she heard this as well, but that was somewhere. I think it was just for Ishtar actually. In that case,
侵入するしかないわね。
I immediately commenced posting on the Tiro forum.
最初はまず、はじめましてと。ん？
Oh? Another computer terminal starts displaying an alert. Isn't that...
これ、まだ生きてたんだ。
Oh? That's a spyware that Onesama planted onto Andras back in the good old days. Oh! Oh crap, we can still spy on Andras? Its name? Lemchan's little none of your business. It will detect any information containing specific keywords like code, scene, and sends tapped audiovisual data directly to criminal.
確かこれって、コードに見つかって停止させられて。
Yeah, like in that one gathering, right? And then after this they send them the threat on their computer. So, weird. Are they luring her out? Oh.
それに、なんでこの端末に情報が送られてくるの？
Oh, they luring her out, I think. This would still make sense if it was sending the data to the computer at Onesama's apartment, but whose magic is at work here? The first name to come to mind is he, but there's no logical reason for him to do this sort of thing. Another possibility is Lemcha,
確
but
かに、この間レムちゃんがここにやってきた時、何かを仕掛けていったらしい素振りはあったけど。
can't say whether she did or not though. Still, kind of embarrassing all things considered. But even if it was Lemchan that did it, there really isn't logical reason for her to do so.
だとしたら、
I look behind my shoulder, no board is there, but an empty
お
space.
姉様が。
Okay, that is my wish. That I have Onesama watching over me even now, that I have her blessing. So I decide to believe that. According to the data coming in, Cold will soon commence another terrorist attack. Andras belong to both Diro and the Code. Time to put this information to good use.
お姉様。
A heartwarming feeling. Even if this isn't thanks to Onesama, the fact that I can perceive definitely yes. Gripping the rosary, I send my gratitude to the dearly departed Onesama and devise the next step. Let's resume posting on the forum again. A message to Andras, okay?
あたし、いなんな、よろしくね。
Okay.
あなた、レムちゃんについて、ずいぶん詳しいのね。秘密もしてもね。あたしもレムちゃんの秘密を知ってるの。あ
Okay.
なたのね
Biting
え、よ
him.
かったら、今度会わないいい返事、待ってるわ。
Okay. A response comes almost immediately. What? Just who exactly are you? You're not thinking of setting me up, are you? I'm saying no, I'm under Lamb's-chan divine protection. Looks like you've grown cautious ever since that battle with criminal. Guess you've grown a little. Yeah. Well, guess there can't be any bad guys in the hero that loves Ram-chan. Just as planned. Everything according to the Keikaku. Fine, let's meet. You're a girl, right? If you're a guy in real life, I will never forgive you. Changed my mind. Guess people don't grow up at that easy. I reply Roger and designate a time and date. The same day as the code's D-Day. Okay. Okay. I'm very curious where this will go. I'm very curious how this meeting will go. Oh, someone is on the PC actually. Maybe it's Cyberforce. Okay, so this is someone from Cyberforce. Anyway, that's it for this episode. I will see you in the next one. And yeah. Thank you for watching. So click the like button if you liked the episode, subscribe for more, check my Discord and become a member if you would like to support me and see episodes earlier. Thank you once again, and for Pocket Watch, let's go out.